I've put together a coaching demonstration of coaching procrastination using an approach that is often surprising for the coaching students that I train and the leaders that I coach in coaching competencies. Because instead of trying to get rid of procrastination with the classic challenge the limiting belief or ask your client a solution-focused conversation question, like how can you heal your procrastination? How can you beat your procrastination? In which case, often they'll say, well, if I knew I wouldn't be here, or at least they're thinking that. Or a classic reframe where you're trying to reframe procrastination from what they don't want to what they do want. And it's not to say those approaches can't be helpful, because they can, but I've seen them not deliver the real transformation that a lot of coaches really want to give their clients. So what if instead of trying to get rid of procrastination, we do something entirely different? Kim, you've explained to me already that procrastination seems to be showing up in almost every area of your life. And that's why you're here in the session. We've spoken about how it's inhibiting you on every level, that you just know what you want to do, but you just can't seem to get yourself to make progress. Have I understood you?
Yeah, that's right. It's like I know the steps, but when it's time to actually do them, I just freeze or find something else to do.
So that freeze response, or the substituting with finding something else, that's the common pattern that you're seeing.
Yeah, exactly. And then later I'm mad at myself for not starting sooner.
I'm inviting you into a little journey where we might be looking at procrastination from a different point of view. Are you game for that?
Yeah, sure. I'm open to trying something different because what I've been doing clearly isn't working.
Yeah, and that must be really tough on you.
Yeah, it is. It's exhausting, honestly.
So take a moment and think about this procrastination as if it is showing up as a part of you. And I'm going to drop a question into the space, and I really just invite you to take your time and to experiment with ideas and let them come to you. Just suppose that procrastination was actually trying to speak for something inside of you that's important. What could that possibly be?
Maybe it's trying to protect me from failing or from getting overwhelmed.
So when I say those words back to you, protect you from failing or from getting overwhelmed, which do you think it is, or do you think it's both?
I think it's both. Yeah, like if I don't start, I can't mess up and I can't get buried under everything.
If I don't start, I can't mess up.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's keeping me safe in some strange way.
In a strange way, that's the protective mechanism, right? It's there to keep you safe.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about it like that. But yeah, that makes sense.
When procrastination shows up in this protective way, let yourself just imagine and experiment again. What happens to your body posture when you're in that state of it's protecting me and I'm procrastinating?
I think I kind of shrink in, like shoulders forward, and maybe I feel smaller, like I'm trying to hide from it.
There's a shrinking, even trying to be physically smaller.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm pulling away from the thing I'm avoiding.
And let yourself again just imagine if procrastination were a thought stream, if it was an inner dialogue, what might it be saying to you in that moment of shrinking?
It's probably saying something like, this is too much, or you're not ready.
This is too much. You're not ready.
I think it's been active for years, honestly. Probably been hearing that since I was a teenager.
If you love these life coaching demonstrations and examples with lots of practical tips that you can take away immediately. As much as I really love making them, hit that like or subscribe button, tell the YouTube algorithm that this is what you want, this is what we want, and it'll encourage us to know what to continue to create for you so that we can help beautiful natural coaches around the world to become go-to in-demand master coaches, which is what we do. And so what would it mean to you to ultimately be free of this freeze, find something else response?
I think it would mean I could trust myself more and feel like I can handle what's in front of me instead of running from it.
It would bring you the ability to trust yourself more.
Yeah.
So I want to invite you again into this protective safety feeling. And we're going to take a little stroll together, if that's all right with you, where we're going to start at a particular level, almost like we're sending a bucket into a well of wisdom. And we're just going to go deeper and deeper until we discover something useful or something intrinsic within you. How does that sound?
That sounds good. I'm ready to see what's down there.
I'm inviting you to imagine as if you were suddenly 100% safe, free of overwhelm, totally and completely free of all of that. So, in your own perfect way, visualize this, feel this, sense this, and imagine being 100% totally safe. What do you think that would feel like?
I think it'd feel like my whole body could finally relax. Like I could breathe deeply and just know that I'm okay, no matter what happens.
I'm inviting you to breathe deeply now. Just breathe into that felt sense of safety. I'm okay no matter what. Just take your time, just deeply into that breathing, really feeling your cells take in that relaxation. I'm okay no matter what. I'm okay no matter what. And in that state, and when you're ready, when you feel like you're accessing that, answer this question: what does being safe in this deep way give you inside of yourself that's even more important to you than being safe?
I think it gives me freedom. Like I can actually show up fully and do things because I want to, not because I'm afraid.
When we access that freedom now, when you really feel into it, imagining that freedom fully and totally, feel that you are completely in that freedom, you are showing up fully, absolutely and totally.
Yeah, I see. It feels like I can move forward without that weight holding me back.
With that freedom, what does that give you inside of yourself that perhaps is even more important than freedom?
I think it gives me a sense of purpose. Like I'm doing what I'm meant to instead of just avoiding things.
Purpose. So take that in now. I'm inviting you to almost imagine you're stepping up, stepping into purpose completely. 100%. Feel it in your bones. Breathe it deeply in. Notice the change in your breathing, in your posture. Now, with that deeper, absolute sense of purpose, let's see what's underneath. What inside of yourself is now available to you because of this sense of purpose.
I think now I can really believe in myself. Like I'm capable and I can trust that I'll follow through.
So feel into, I can now believe in myself. With 100% complete and total belief in yourself, what does this give you inside of you that's even more important, perhaps the most important?
I think that gives me real peace. Like I'm enough and I don't have to fight myself anymore.
Real peace. I am enough. Now, feeling into I am enough. Show it to the cells in your body. Show it to the way you stand, the way you sit, the way you breathe. And I invite you just to take in that peace of I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. And just sit with that for a moment, really taking your time. I am enough. If we take that peace and that felt sense of I am enough and we add it to your sense of purpose, I'm curious, what happens to purpose when you bring it, I am enough?
It's like the purpose becomes clearer and feels easier because I'm not trying to prove anything.
It's clearer because you're not trying to prove anything. Now let's take that real peace from I am enough and let's bring it to freedom. What happens to your sense of freedom to show up more fully when you bring that I am enough?
It feels like I can show up without fear because I know I'm already enough just by being there.
I am already enough just by being there.
Yeah, exactly. I can take steps forward without that fear holding me back.
And what happens to this feeling of safety when you bring it, I am enough?
That safety feels more natural now, like it's coming from inside, not something I have to create by avoiding things.
It's more natural because it's coming to you from the inside.
Yeah. It feels like I don't have to run anymore.
And when we bring I am enough, that real peace, what happens to the fear of being overwhelmed when you bring it I am enough?
That fear kind of fades because I know I can handle things even if they're big.
So I'm just going to say those words back to you. I know I can handle things even if they're big. Where does that knowing come from?
I think it comes from that place of peace we talked about.
Yeah. And let's take that piece of I am enough and let's bring it to this freeze response where you find something else. What happens to the freeze response and trying to find something else when you bring it, I am enough, and that peace?
That freeze doesn't have the same power then. I can just stay with what I need to do because I know I'm enough either way.
I am enough either way.
Yeah. I don't have to run to something.
You don't have to run.
Yeah. No running. I can just be in the moment and trust myself.
Be in the moment. And that shrinking in that happens in your body, what's this peace bringing now to that shrinking in smaller feeling?
That shrinking doesn't feel needed anymore. I can stand up, feel open, and still feel safe.
I'm going to say those words back to you as well. I can stand up and be open and still be safe. What's it like to realize that?
It feels empowering. Honestly, like I've got everything I need inside me already.
And you've just given yourself that today, right here, right now.
Yeah, I really have. It's pretty amazing to feel that shift.
The next time that procrastination shows up, now that you know that it's trying to protect you and that that protection is actually trying to take you to freedom, to purpose, and ultimately the real peace of I am enough. How do you respond now to procrastination?
I think now I can notice it and remind myself that I'm already enough and that I don't need to be protected from myself.
You can remind yourself that you are enough.
Yeah, and that's going to help me stay on track.
When you bump into the habit, perhaps, of the freeze response, the procrastination response, knowing what you know now, what might you do to support yourself?
I'll pause, take a breath, and remind myself that I'm enough and that I'm safe to take that next step.
And that taking a breath and that reminding yourself, how will you help yourself to feel the peace of that so that it's not just more thoughts?
I can focus on my breathing, feel my body, and really let that peace sink in. So it's something I actually experience, not just think about.
As a felt experience.
Yeah. Exactly. That way it's real, not just words in my head.
What real gift have you given yourself today in this coaching session?
I think I've given myself that gift of knowing I'm enough and that I can trust myself, and that's huge.
And if you imagine yourself with 3 to 6 months of consistently trusting yourself more in this way, and your relationship with procrastination changing in this way, what do you suppose that might look like?
I think it would look like me getting things done with more ease, feeling proud of the work, and just being more at peace with myself day to day.
How do you feel and experience that pride and that ease?
I think I'd feel that by noticing the little wins and letting myself celebrate them instead of just focusing on what's next. I could pause, maybe take a short break, acknowledge what I did well, even something simple like telling myself you did it.
Well, I'm going to tell you today that you did it. You've really given yourself something really beautiful, and I want to acknowledge the courage that it took to look into these vulnerable places and to discover this deep intrinsic truth that you are indeed enough.
Thank you. That means a lot. It really does feel like something shifted today.
A famous psychologist by the name of Milton Erickson put forward the idea that behind every behavior was a positive intention, what he called a positive intention driving the behavior for that person. When I learned of this understanding more than 25 years ago, something landed for me intuitively. And I started working with positive intention exploration as a coaching tool, developed it into a full process, which I call the Kite Process, and saw the most incredible results for clients and for the clients of the coaches that I train. If you imagine a kite, and you imagine the vertical bar of the kite being the direction that the person wants to head in, the top of the kite is the goal, and the bottom of the kite is where they are now. The traditional coaching path would be to coach someone to make progress until they reach the destination that they want to. But we all know that in reality, we hit a crossbar. Now that crossbar represents, using the metaphor that I created, an inner obstacle. And here's the thing about an inner obstacle. Inner obstacles show up in polarities, in opposing pairs. And what happens is that we try to get rid of the inner obstacle, and we want its opposite. So instead of procrastination, we want confidence, for example, or we want to be able to move forward. But here's the question: can a kite fly with only half a kite? No. What if nature and life and the wisdom of life is that instead of trying to get rid of a part of us that showed up for a valid reason, we find the valid reason that it's speaking for and turn the enemy into an ally to stabilize the kite. In order to coach procrastination, you also need really strong active listening skills. So check out this other demonstration example session where I show you some do's and don'ts to strengthen your active listening competencies.